ladies and gentlemen. The 37th Training Wing would like to take a moment before today's ceremony and ask visitors to help us keep our airmen healthy and safe. We ask guests to take special precautions while visiting their loved ones here in basic military training. Please wash your hands frequently and utilize hand sanitizer. Cover your mouth when coughing or sneezing and avoid attendance at ceremonies if you are experiencing flu-like symptoms. Hand sanitizer is available throughout the parade area. These simple precautions will help keep Joint Base San Antonio Lackland flu-free. Thank you. Today's basic military training graduation parade is a celebration of the achievements of these graduating airmen. It is also a ceremony that both teaches and appreciates our Air Force military heritage. Drill is an integral part of military history, a prominence that rests on the fact that its fundamental purpose was to prepare troops for battle. For the most part, drill procedures practiced in the past were identical to the tactical maneuvers employed on the battlefield. It was this aspect of drill which made it such an important part of training. Even today, drill remains a necessary and useful training activity for instilling discipline and esprit de corps. Over 220 years ago, General Washington enlisted the assistance of Baron von Steuben, a distinguished Prussian officer, to help instill discipline. Baron von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge in February of 1778, facing an army of several thousand undisciplined, half-starved, wretched men in rags. To correct these conditions, he set to work immediately and wrote regulations designed to teach the discipline of drill to a model company of 120 selected men. Discipline became a part of the military for these individuals as they learned to respond to commands without hesitation. As they mastered the art of drill and began to work as a team, this group developed a collective sense of pride in themselves and in their units. Watching this model company perform, observers were amazed to see how quickly and efficiently the troops could be massed and maneuvered into different battle formations. Later, members of this model company were assigned throughout the regular army to teach drill. It was through this simple emphasis on drill that the effectiveness and efficiency of Washington's Continental Army were improved. In 1789, Baron von Steuben wrote the American Army's first field manual, the regulations for the order and discipline of the troops of the United States. The drill procedures placed into effect at Valley Forge were not changed for over 85 years, and many of these same procedures are still in use today. One form of drill is the salute. Since early times, men of arms have used some form of salute as an exchange of greeting, the most popular of which has been the hand salute. This exchange has been preserved and its use continued in all modern militaries, which inherit their traditions from the age of chivalry. Throughout today's ceremony, you will see the airmen presenting arms as one form of the military salute. The civilian counterpart of the salute is manifested in various ways, such as placing the right hand over the heart when the national anthem is played, or raising the hand when greeting a friend. The military salute is given in the same manner as a gesture of recognition and a friendly greeting to a comrade in the honorable profession of arms. To maintain the proper decorum and respect for events such as this, we ask that you abide by the following standards while you are here. First, there will be times that you will be asked to stand for the invocation, the playing of the national anthem, ruffles and flourishes, the playing of the Air Force song, the reciting of the oath of enlistment, and the Airman's Creed. Second, we ask that you remain silent during these times, reflecting on the price that has been paid for our freedom. Third, we ask that you pay respect to the flag during the national anthem and as it passes during the review. Military members in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. Civilians should stand and place their right hand over their hearts. Veterans and military members not in uniform may render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. After the last note of the national anthem and after the flags have passed, you may then return your hand to your side. We also ask that all cell phones and other electronic devices be silenced at this time. As the flags pass in review, applause is appropriate, but please limit that applause so that others may hear the narration of the names and hometowns of the military training instructors. Please reserve the strictest respect during our oath of enlistment. During this oath, airmen pledge their lives to support and defend the Constitution and our country. For the safety and comfort of those around you, we ask that you remain in place until our distinguished guests have left the reviewing stand and departed the area. Restroom facilities are located in the brown building to your left, and during this morning's ceremony, smoking and the consumption of alcoholic beverages is not permitted. Finally, please do not go onto the grassy areas when taking photos during the ceremony. And now I'd like to take a moment to inform you on specific flight locations on the parade field. As viewed from the bleachers, from your left to your right, the first two flights to pass in review today are from the 321st Training Squadron, flights 233 and 234. The next two flights are from the 320th Training Squadron, Warrior flights 235 and 236. They are followed by Flight 237 and Honor Flight 238 from the 322nd Training Squadron. In the center of the parade field are the 737 training groups, Drum and Bugle Corps, Warrior Flight B-243 and Flight B-244 from the 323rd Training Squadron. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags are from the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 231 and Warrior Flight 232. Next are Flights 239 and 240 from the 326th Training Squadron. The last two flights are from the 328th Training Squadron, Flight 241 and 242. At this time, please find a place to sit before the ceremony begins. Thank you and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Burson.
Almighty God, we thank you for this occasion that brings us together as fellow airmen, leaders, families, and friends. We rejoice with these graduates on this special day of achievement and celebration as we ask for your blessing on these young men and women who have worked many difficult weeks and have given so much of themselves to arrive at this moment. We thank you for their families and the sacrifices that they have made to make this day possible. We ask that you would fill their hearts with pride as they witness the fruit of their labor. We also pray that you would give to their leaders and their instructors a sense of accomplishment for their faithful and dedicated service to these graduates. Grant these airmen strength that they may remain steadfast in the causes of truth, justice, and freedom, and may they always bring honor to the Air Force, to their families, and to themselves. Ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Burson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Today, we are privileged to have with us several distinguished guests, beginning with the host of today's parade, the Vice Commander, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Vincent Fisher. Today's reviewing official, the Mobilization Assistant to the Commander, Air Education and Training Command, Joint Base San Antonio, Randolph, Texas, Major General Carl Skinner, and his guest, a 1971 graduate of basic training, Mr. Steve York. We are also honored to have with us Major General, United States Air Force retired, Gary Alkire. The Commander, Air Force Medical Operations Agency, Brigadier General Sean Murphy and his wife Karen. The Commander, 737 Training Group, Colonel Deborah Liddick. The Command Chief Master Sergeant, 37 Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Greg Recker and his wife Ann. Representing the Superintendent, 737 Training Group, Chief Master Sergeant Julie Bailey. We would also like to welcome the members of the Defense Orientation Conference Association. Although time does not permit us to introduce all our distinguished guests, the 37th Training Wing is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. The 37th Training Wing welcomes you to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade. The airmen who will pass in review today have completed a demanding 8-week program that provides Air Force units throughout the world with trained airmen. Part of this training includes the time-proven concepts of military customs and traditions, of which this parade is a vital part. All graduating airmen will also march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. They will lead the way for thousands of airmen that will follow, all reflecting on our enlisted heritage, tradition of honor, and our legacy of valor. Our Commander of Airmen is Senior Master Sergeant Leroy Newhouse, Squadron Superintendent, 320th Training Squadron. Major General Skinner will review today's ceremony.
Staff, attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. please be seated. Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Honor Flight Streamer. The Honor Flight Streamer is awarded to the 322nd Training Squadron, Flight 238, for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and the spirit of during the period of 4 February through 29 March 2013. Signed, Colonel Lilly, Colonel, United States Air Force. ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of ruffles and flourishes.
March the command and review.
Thank you. Please be seated. Graduating airmen passing in review today represent a portion of the 36,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest Air Force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. All warrior airmen of character have participated in a rigorous competition for the coveted award of Honor Flight, a significant accomplishment which only one flight per graduating class is able to achieve. Honor Flight can only be awarded to a flight that achieved excellence in all facets of basic military training. Today, Flight 238 from the 322nd Training Squadron is recognized as the Honor Flight for this graduating class. As our graduates turn left onto the bar to pass and review, they will march over the enlisted heroes bar. The airmen recognized on the papers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 7 Medals of Honor, 22 Air Force Crosses, and 138 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in the service to this great nation. We would like for you to notice our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. Once the flags have passed in review, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Our Commander of Airmen is Senior Master Sergeant Roy Newhouse, Squadron Superintendent 320 Training Squadron, hometown McGee, Arkansas. The A Squadron Commander is Master Sergeant Ernesto Otero, Instructor Supervisor 322nd Training Squadron, hometown Colorado Springs, Colorado. Flight 233 for the 324th Training Squadron, led by Technical Sergeant David Randolph, hometown, Martinsville, Virginia. Flight 234 from the 321st Training Squadron, led by Staff Sergeant Luke Lars, hometown, Syracuse, New York. Warrior Flight 235 from the 320th Training Squadron, led by Technical Sergeant John Matheson, hometown, Vallejo, California. Warrior Flight 236 from the 320th Training Squadron, led by Staff Sergeant Courtney Hill, hometown, Meridian, Mississippi. Flight 237 from the 322nd Training Squadron, led by Staff Sergeant Nathan Beachley, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Honor Flight 238 from the 322nd Training Squadron, led by Technical Sergeant Daniel Oles, hometown, Aspen City, Tennessee. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags are for the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 231 and Warrior Flight 232, led by Master Sergeant Michael Watson, hometown, Princeton, West Virginia, and Technical Sergeant Dominic Bergen Rodriguez, hometown, Bakersfield, California. The B Squadron Commander is Technical Sergeant Benny Fields, Master Military Training Instructor, 324th Training Squadron, hometown, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Flight 239 from the 326th Training Squadron, led by Staff Sergeant John Weeks, hometown, Stroud, Oklahoma. Flight 240 from the 326th Training Squadron, led by Staff Sergeant Javicio Lazar, hometown, Houston, Texas. Flight 241 from the 320th Training Squadron, led by Technical Sergeant Gene Harper, hometown, Jamestown, New York. Flight 242 from the 320th Training Squadron, led by Staff Sergeant Andrew Citron, hometown, East Windsor, New Jersey. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the 737 Training Group's Drum Bugle Corps, 323rd Training Squadron, Warrior Flight B-243 and Flight B-244, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Clark, hometown, Toronto, New York, and Technical Sergeant Jason Johnson, hometown, Dallas, Texas. These flights are performing today under the direction of Staff Sergeant David Evans, hometown, Alpine, Texas. These airmen are also in basic military training but have volunteered their time and efforts to perform for ceremonies of this type. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the United States Air Force song. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. And now, we would like to inform you about the spouse and parent pin. Beginning with World War I, families displayed service flags in their windows, displaying a blue star for each family member serving in the armed forces. Today, the Air Force spouse pin, a blue star cradle in the Air Force symbol, is a contemporary adaptation of this wartime tradition. The pin is given to the wives and husbands of America's warrior airman character in appreciation of the sacrifices they make for their spouse's service. Parent pins are a contemporary adaptation of the World War II E-flags that were used to recognize companies for their contributions to the war effort. The pins are intended to communicate to parents the importance of their sons and daughters' selfless service, to express sincere gratitude for parents' continued support, and to convey a sense of partnership between the Air Force and the proud parents of America's airmen. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America's airmen for the support of your airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known. class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the airmen march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank the families and friends who are here in support of the airmen graduating today. For words of encouragement help motivate these airmen through 8 weeks of basic military training. General Skinner will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Well, good morning. And on behalf of our Commander, General Rice, it is my privilege to be here with 687 of my soon-to-be fellow airmen. There's a couple things I'd like to share with each of you, but before I do, I'd like to add my welcome to the crowd. And I got to tell you, I asked Colonel Liddick this morning, I said, is this a noisy crowd? And she said, no, it's a crazy noisy crowd. So I'm going to ask you a favor. If you could tell me what you think about the airmen standing behind me, I think they'd like to hear it. Thank you very much. I think I heard you in Houston. I couldn't agree with you more. Well, there's a couple things I'd like to thank you for. First of all, thank you for helping each of these airmen get here. You know, we've had the privilege to work with them for 8.5 weeks, but the moms and dads, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, husbands and wives, friends, you helped get these airmen through diapers, through preschool, through grade school, to soccer games, to swim meets, to high school. You got them to the United States Air Force. And for that, we are grateful. Thank you. The second thing I'd like to thank you for is a thank you in advance. That joining the Air Force, going through basic training is a challenge, but the biggest challenges lie ahead. So absolutely, each one of these airmen is going to need your love, your support more than ever. And I thank you in advance for what you will do to help them be such a precious part of our Air Force. Thank you. There is one special group in the audience that I would like to recognize this morning before we administer the oath to these new airmen, and that is any individual who has taken this oath in any uniform. Would you please rise so you can be recognized? On behalf of my fellow airmen, let me tell you thank you for your leadership, the role model that you set, and I can assure you these airmen will carry forward your proud tradition, and you can be very proud of them. Now, to my fellow airmen, what can I say to you as you start your Air Force career? The one thing I can guarantee you is that you will see a lot of change. Your Air Force is all about change, staying current, staying relevant, staying valuable to this nation. So as you go through a career that has changed to continually evolve your Air Force, what can you hang on to? There are two things in particular that I recommend you take to heart and hold on fast. One is the oath that I'm going to have the privilege to administer to you in a few moments. That oath has been used since the 1780s for individuals to pledge their support to protect and defend the Constitution. What makes it special in the history of mankind is you're not protecting a dictator, you're not protecting me, you're protecting the Constitution, and you're protecting every one of them. So I thank you for taking that oath, and I encourage you to hold on fast. That is your promise to this nation. The second thing that I recommend that you hold on fast to is the Airman's Creed, which we will also recite later this morning. And that creed is our promise to each other. As we go out in harm's way or into new nations to help this world to continue to build freedom and build what the human experience is, you're going to need each other. And that Airman's Creed is your promise to each other as you move forward. It's a big step, but I tell you, your trainers, they know you're ready. The colonel, she knows you're ready. And I'm going to ask your families and friends, do you think they're ready? Well, I think we all believe you're ready. Let me ask you, do you feel of the Air Force? We will take that as a yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Skinner will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Now raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
And I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
According to the regulations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
According to the regulations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Airmen, and welcome to the world's greatest Air Force.
Thank you, General Skinner. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed and remain in place for the departure of our official party. I am an American Airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American Airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and legacy of valor. I am an American Airman, guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its century and legend. I defend my country with my life. I am an American Airman, leading forward. I'll never leave them behind. I'll never help them.
Thank you. Please be seated. Airmen in the state flag mask, Flight 231 and Warrior Flight 232 from the 331st Training Squadron will be released to their visitors at the equipment locker to your left after they secure the flags. Airmen in the German Bugle Corps, Warrior Flight B-243 and Flight B-244 will meet their family members at the north side bleachers near the equipment lockers after they have secured their instruments. Please be careful while exiting the bleachers and while moving on to the grassy areas. For your safety, we also ask that you refrain from climbing the guardrails and only use the stairs to exit the bleachers. All airmen are now released to their visitors. Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the rest of your stay at Greeley, San Antonio, Macklin, Texas.
Hands up!